Hey, what's happening? I want you to watch this clip, and after that, I'm going to explain why a lot of these women are in relationships with married men. Let's go.
Go ahead and pull your blinds down, child. Go ahead and pull them curtains to the side. Let's get nosy for a few minutes. Do not come tussling with me because, baby, I'm gonna warn you right now. I'm off today, so I got time to go back and forth with y'all if y'all want to tussle. This is a legit question, though, for y'all women out there who are big and bold, who's had a lot of birthdays and should know better. How do y'all feel having affairs with these married men, knowing that they're not going to leave their wives for you? They tell you that they're going to leave their wife, but they're not showing you no indication that there is some leaving going on because y'all still can't be seen in public. Y'all can't be in the same zip code, area code together. He still got to lie that he got to go to the grocery store in order for him to come and see you. How does it feel to know that you could be sick in the hospital and this man cannot come and see you because he has to be with his real family? You spending holidays alone. He may come over and eat a plate and go back to his family. Okay? It's 2025. A lot of y'all women are bosses, and I need y'all to recognize that. Okay? A lot of y'all could be great wives, great girlfriends, because not everybody want to be a wife. You know what I mean? So I'm not even going to say, oh, be a great wife, but a lot of y'all could be great partners to a great man that deserve y'all. But y'all always want somebody else's man. I don't know why. Baby, please do not want mine because you do not want these problems. And I'm sure he don't want these problems either. Okay? I'm just saying. Do not want mine. I don't want y'all's. Y'all find y'all own men, please. Y'all really need to do better. Some of y'all done left y'all happy homes and cheated on y'all good man to be with a man who is not going to leave his wife, does not want to be with you. Here I know you have low self-esteem already, honey. Here I know that you have daddy issues. So here I know that he could give you the bare minimum and you're going to be so happy with the bare minimum because you can even get the bare minimum from your daddy. Baby, I didn't get the bare minimum from my daddy either, but I know better. I definitely know better. Me getting the bare minimum from my daddy has allowed me to be the woman that I am today. Okay? A man don't give me problems, I give him problems. All right?
Poor,
Toodles.
poor, poor,
Now, she's
poor.
a whole nutcase, right? You could tell she has issues, and one of the, first telltale signs is these tattoos, these chest tattoos. You already know what you're dealing with. But
You big dummy.
I want to say this. Here's the reason why these women are having affairs with married men, right? Because they aged out of relationships that are that's committed. They aged out of relationships for themselves. They aged out of commitments when it comes to marriage. Uh, they keep talking about partnerships. Men don't want partnerships. Men want either girlfriends or wives. So they aged out of that. They aged out of being girlfriends.
Poor, poor, poor,
That's
poor.
how bad it is. When they get into their 30s and 40s, a lot of these women mess with married men because the men, the younger men that's younger than them, all they want to do is take them on a tizzy tour. The men their age and older, they're either married or they're divorced and they're not trying to get married again. So the guys that's not trying to get married again, the guys in their 30s and 40s, they've been there. They're not going back. They're happy. They only want to take them on a tizzy tour also. So the young guys in their 20s only want to take them on the tizzy tour. The guys that are divorced only want to take them on a tizzy tour. So what's left? The married men. Now, the married men, they typically like to deal with a woman that knows about their situation. And married men, they like to have a wife and a mistress on the side, right? If they live in that life, it's usually a wife and a mistress on the side. So they're telling them, they're not lying to them. They're telling them, listen, you want to deal with me? I'm married. I'm the closest thing you're going to get to a relationship, because at least every now and then I'll take you to the movie theaters. At least I'll come over for Netflix and chill, and instead of me just taking you on a tizzy tour and leaving, I'll stay the night. But these are going to be very few nights out of the year. I'm not going to be there for V-Day. I'm not going to be there for Christmas. I'm not going to be there for a lot of things. I may be there for your birthday if it don't land on, the kids or the wife's birthday. I may be there for one of your birthday, for your, not one, but for your birthday. But, every other day, 4th of July, Memorial Day, these days that people are usually with their families, they're not going to be there, but they'll be there. You probably get out of a year, you probably get 12 days out of a year of this guy to yourself, which is more than what you're getting from these other guys that just want to take you on a tizzy tour. What I'm saying is, when they get old, they have to share a man. And this nutcase said it herself. She said the men, they had good men, and it's true. A lot of them had good men, but they didn't, they didn't care for them. They didn't care for them because they were good men. They wanted the streets. But they thought they can jump in the streets and then jump right out of the streets when they felt like it. No. Once you jump in the streets, especially after, doing a good man dirty, you're for the streets. And she's for the streets too. She just don't know it yet. And the reason why she's doing this is because there's women already coming for her man. That's the reason why she's doing it. This is a public service announcement for a fade. She putting out a public service announcement for a fade to women that want her man. Yeah, she's not secure. And you know why she's not secure? Because what she said at the end. You still got daddy issues. You have daddy issues, and that's the reason why you're giving the man that you with problems? Oh, yeah. See, women that know her and know her man, they're looking at her man thinking he can do better, and they think they're the better. So they going for her man. That happens a lot. They going for her man. And he's sitting back listening to this garbage, and then women are coming in saying, hey, I see what you're dealing with. You can do better. And before you know it, he's in a relationship with those women, and she's, for the streets. And she knows that. She knows that. And instead of her going to therapy to deal with her daddy issues, she's going to continue to project all those negative feelings onto the man that she's with, simply just because he's a man. That's why if any of you brothers out there are dealing with women, no matter, Becky, Maria, Lingling, no matter Marrakesh, you make sure that she has a good relationship with her parents. Both of them. If she don't have a good relationship with her parents and there's issues there, you're gonna have problems. So yeah, yeah. If you're if you're if you're in your 30s or 40s, you're gonna have to share a man, and it is most likely it's gonna be a married man. Married men, when you look at them, they live a different life. They live a different lifestyle, right? For the most part, you know, they not as happy as single men. They really not. They're not as happy as single men. They're married and they're really not getting much out of the marriage. They're there, you know, they're there and they're taking care of the household, making sure the kids are straight. But when you look at them, they're not having nearly as much fun as the single men. And don't get it twisted. That's how marriage been for men since the inception of marriage. You look at the guy out there who's, living his life and, don't have to live to a certain societal norm. He's out there having fun, doing what he wants, doesn't have to answer to nobody, doesn't have to hear any nagging women behind him. He's living his life. Those are the women that have a hard time. Those are the guys that the women have a hard time dealing with because those guys ain't trying to hear nothing. Either you on their program, which is me, you come through every now and get a tizzy tour and then kick rocks, or they not dealing with you again. A married man doesn't get much action, because he's married, So the action that he does get outside, if he does get anything outside of the marriage, is something a little more special to him than a single guy because that's all the time. That's any time he feel like. A married man will rather deal with this on the side because it's better probably. I know it sounds crazy. But it's his way of being connected to the world that he was once a part of. It's his way of being connected to when he used to be happy. Does that sound right? Does that sound accurate? I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. So they don't mind taking on this, this headache right here. They don't mind. They don't mind taking on this headache, but as long as this headache is on the side, it's a side chick. So for the women that in their 30s and 40s and thought that they can go out and get a man, no, you're gonna have to share a man, and that man most likely is married. What do y'all think about this? Anyway, peace.
You big dummy.